Shalom, Yashrala. It's your brother Dawada from GMS St. Petersburg, Florida, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. With salutation and much love for you, I can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Alright, so we're going to jump into this here lesson dealing with Venezuela and basically Esau being a damn devil, as we've already seen with them with Venezuela, but there was something spiritual I wanted to pull out with this. All right, so I'm gonna read this here article through, and we're gonna basically, give a word to comfort to not only our brothers in Venezuela but to the rest of the children of Israel, to let you know what your future is. All right, so it says Maduro defends Venezuela right to sell gold amid U.S. sanctions push. It says Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro insists the national gold exports should continue despite sweeping U.S. sanctions targeting the industry. It comes after the UK refuses to release around $550 million in gold owned by Caracas. Venezuela has the right to sell what it produces. We're moving forward with the plan on gold output as new source of prosperity, Maduro stated, as cited by the media after meeting with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Monday. Says Maduro's statement comes shortly after the Bank of England refused to return $550 million worth gold to Venezuela. The decision is based on concerns by British officials of possible money laundering. They claim the Venezuelan leader may seize the gold, which is owned by the state, and sell it for personal gains. Washington has targeted its grip on the Latin American nation and its leadership, who the U.S. accuses of violating human rights, imposing rounds of sanctions, including U.S. banning individuals from corporations dealing with the entities and people involved in the gold sales from the country. All right. So, that's as much as the article I wanted to read. Hang on. Actually, let me read this. It says, it is very petty to try and use illegal sanctions to prevent Venezuela from selling its gold to the world, Maduro said. And, that's pretty much the sentiment of this whole thing, Basically, these Edomites, as you see, collectively, they all been a damn devil. Now, when you go back up into this here article, it says that the Bank of England refuses to return $550 million worth of gold that is owned by the state, all right? The state of Venezuela, and Nicolas Maduro is the head of that state, all right? And the reason that they claim that they need to hold on to this here gold, is they say that it's based on concerns, not facts, but concerns by the British officials, by these Edomites, of possible, nothing based on facts, nothing like that. So these Edomites just coming up with lies. Well, we don't want him to have the gold, because if he have the gold, he gonna sell it for his own personal gain, and the people not gonna benefit from it. Well, in reality, if let's say that is the case, the people ain't gonna benefit from it. Well, the other choice is what? Y'all take the gold and the people still not benefiting from it? It's the same tactic and plan that you use out there in Syria, Oh, well, it's messed up that Bashar al-Assad will bomb his own people. So to stop him from bombing his own people, we're going to bomb the people first. This is how Esau, Edom, the so-called white man get down, And as you see in this article, they're refusing to return $550 million worth of Venezuelans' gold to Venezuela. If that was the other way around, if anybody was refusing to return anything that was owned by America, America would be at their doorsteps with their military. All right. Not only is America got their firm grips on their oil resource. All right. They also, they're currently trying to steal that, but they also got a firm grip on their gold. All right. And when Nicolas Maduro is looking for another way to produce. Let me see how they say how they word it. They're looking for another. Right here it says we're moving forward with the plan on gold output as a new source of prosperity. And if you've been following along, especially on my channel where we highlight what's going on in Venezuela, you know what I'm saying? They struggling for life over there. The economy, man, they going through super inflation and things like that. So they need to be able to come back up with some money as a state, all right, to be able to pay off certain bills and utilities to keep things running, all right, to bring down costs and things of everything else to stabilize the economy, all right? Now, that's just speaking as far as on a carnal sense, but we know through the spirit, we're going to jump to some scriptures. We know through the spirit that certain things have to take place. Certain things are happening for certain reasons. All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of jumping around, but, painting this here picture. And this is going to be a message, a message of comfort, not only to our Venezuelan brothers, but to the rest of the tribes. We can just see what's going on with them in the news right now. So this is Daniel 7:21. It says, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. All right. And so let me grab a precept off of that. Okay, yeah. So now we're talking about being here at the end of the world, or the end of this here age. So it said, I beheld, and the same horn made war with them, right? And prevailed against them. So this is Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. But he shall be saved out of it. So we know before this transition fully takes place and we come into the kingdom of heaven, we got to go through basically a day like never before. A day like, let me see, I think it's, this is Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, which we just read, Jacob's trouble, such as was never since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. And that's dealing with the elect of the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. 1/3 of our whole nation, all right, out of those groups of people are going to be saved, delivered, and the elect, the 144,000. All right. But then overall, we're going to come back into the kingdom, and the whole house of Israel is going to be saved. All right. But nevertheless, we know that before we get into that transition period, it's going to get way worse before that time happens. All right. But just to let you know, we got a beautiful thing stacked up for us. All right. So, I'm going to use this as an example. This here article is an example to show how, our people, not to say we're so small minded, but we're looking at the wrong things as far as what's ahead of us. All right. So remember, this here article is predicated on what the Venezuelan people want their gold back. Right. So this is Daniel 7:21 again. It says, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. All right. Talking about what? The times that we're living in now, all the way up to the times of Jacob's trouble. But he going to be saved up out of it. All right. Now, continuing on, it says, now this is basically saying the same thing. Just, it's saying, look, they're going to be pushing up on you up until a certain point in time. And what is that certain point in time? Verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. All right. So the saints of the Most High wind up taking and possessing the kingdom. All right. That's going to be the transition time. All right. Yeah, these so-called white men, these Edomites, all right, they're going to be pressing up on us, and they're going to be, devouring us and basically still doing what they're doing, being the devil unto us, stealing from us and just oppressing us. Right. And it's going to get way worse. But just hold on. It's a light at the end of the tunnel, And I'm, with this here lesson, Lord willing, I'll be able to paint a picture of how, so-called you crying over a little bit of petty gold, which is not really petty, and it is your gold, and you do have a right to want your own shit back. But in the bigger scheme of things, you crying over a little bit of petty gold, and the Most High about to give you all the gold. All right. I'm going to jump down to verse 26. All right. Let me just read that one more through. It says, Daniel 7:21, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Jumping down, verse 26, kind of going a little bit back in time. But judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it to the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the whole greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. All right. So basically, that's talking about what? Taking that crown up off of Esau's head. Because what? On Esau's crown, he got all the other crowns of all these other kings on the planet Earth. All right. So you take Esau's crown, you got dominion over the whole planet Earth. Because what? According to Job 9:24, he already got all the other nations' crowns. All right. So going back into what's popping in, let me read one more verse real quick. Verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever. All right. Forever and ever and ever. So basically, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to fight through this Jacob's trouble. And well, before Jacob's trouble, all the way up into Jacob's trouble and through Jacob's trouble. But what? We're going to prevail at the end. We're going to come out on the other side. All right. Now, let me show you the spiritual meaning behind. Now, as you notice, when you're looking at the news, you see a lot of these countries starting to hoard gold. All right. Let's say 10 years ago, a lot of countries wasn't really dealing with gold and stuff like that. They was still dealing on the petrodollar. Hell, even a year ago. But now within this year, You're starting to see China dealing and hoarding and buying and selling gold. Russia doing the same thing. All right. You see here in this conversation, you see Venezuela wants to start producing their gold. Everybody's trying to change currencies and hoard all this gold as you look at them as nations. All right. This is Revelation 21. All right. Now, keep in mind as they hoarding all this here gold, as we read along through these here scriptures. Now, I'm going to read this here, this scripture about, the New Jerusalem coming out of heaven. Now, we know that there's not going to be an actual city that comes out of the sky, right? But nevertheless, just briefly cutting to it, that's basically the minute the elect being raised back up. Ezekiel 37, that exceedingly great army. All right, they the temple. However, when we do get in the kingdom of heaven, all right, as we read, we are going to get us a physical kingdom built. All right. Now, these are also likenesses of it. So we're going to read it just to show that part of this here breakdown. All right. This is Revelation 21:1. I saw a new heaven and a new earth. So like it. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And like I said, there's not going to be an actual city that's going to descend out of the sky. All right. That's according to what Ezekiel 37, that valley of dry bones that was being woken back up. All right. Going over to Ezekiel 9:4, talking about those that was sighing and crying for the abominations thereof. We can jump down. I'll get to it, but we can jump down just to, close that point out. This thing is 21. Verse 22. And I saw no temple therein, for Yahweh Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. All right. And being the body, that's basically what John is seeing descending out of heaven. We being raised back up. But however, like I said, they're going to reference this as well to something else. But like I said, in that day in our kingdom, we're going to actually have cities built, just like this. All right. So verse 3 says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power. And the Most High shall wipe away all their tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for all the former things have passed away. And I know that's probably hitting home to a lot of our Venezuelan brothers over there that's crying and suffering just for a little bag of rice or some food or some water and things like that. You feel like it's hell on earth and it's just that's the end all be all. Well, I mean, it sucks to say it's going to get a lot worse. But what at the end of that tunnel, man, it's going to be a glorious kingdom waiting on you. Whether you make it on this side or you got to wait to the other side. It says verse 5, and he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. Now, making all things new, going back up to the new heavens and the new earth, that's going back into what? Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So we know Esau is in control right now. All right, he's coming out of his heaven and Jacob is rising up into that spot. All right. Verse 6. And he said unto me, it is done. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. And I will give unto him that is athirst the fountain of water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. All right. So, like I said, the main way that this is being broken down is that, this here city that's being spoken of is, let me grab this because we're going to jump here in a minute, but because both of these go hand in hand, and it seems like they split at the same time. Isaiah 60 and I think 18. Yep. Violent. Now, when it's talking about this new city coming down, all right, out of heaven, this is going to be, again, Ezekiel 37, the beginning of the first fruits raising back up. All right. These are going to be men this is going to trickle down. All right. This is the new covenant. The Most High going to write his laws on our inward parts. All right. Isaiah 60 and 18, violence shall be no more heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt be called the walls of salvation and thy gates praise. So like the calamities is going on in Venezuela, man, that's not going to be popping off. They're not going to be robbing and stealing for no bags of rice and food and stuff like that, and just in any of our other neighborhoods as well. All right. It says, the sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but Yahweh shall be unto thee an everlasting light, thy power and thy glory. All right. So we're not going to be needing the regular things, like let's say if you was a farmer, right? You need good weather for your crop to produce and for you to be able to make you your living, So therefore, you kind of dependent on the elements, right? You dependent on the Most High, but well, it was a drought, whatever, whatnot. You're not gonna have to be dependent on that, even if there was a hypothetical drought or real drought, where you at, you can just be like, oh, Most High, in the middle of the desert, you know what I'm saying? I need these corn to thrive, and now you got a whole field of corn, It says that people shall all be righteous; they shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my plant and the works of my hand, that I might be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, Yahweh, will hasten it in his time. And so, again, going back onto that metaphoric spiritual city that's coming down, all right? That's touching on what that is. We don't want no scoffers to be like, oh, that's the wrong breakdown for what you're speaking on. Yeah, that's a metaphoric, symbology. But then also, once we get into the kingdom, all right, we're going to go back to Isaiah 60. We're going to actually get us a real kingdom, like a real, tangible place. All right, so let me go down to verse 10, Revelation 21:10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain and showed me a great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven, having the glory of the Most High, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had walls great and high, and 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Now, when you go to, Revelation 7, and you get the breakdown of 144,000, that's what those gates is talking about. Like I said, this is basically a metaphor of us being raised back up. But then also they're using the symbology of an actual building, actual locations, all right? And in our heart's desire, if we want these personal cities and things like that built up like that, we're going to have it like that. That's why the Most High has given us these descriptions. Now, me just speaking of... as a man, it wouldn't surprise me if Jerusalem actually would look like this, all right? When you actually go to the city, it wouldn't surprise me that it would look like this, all right? With all these precious stones and things like that, if you want somewhat of a visualization, and one of those movies with Thor in there, they go back to his homeland, Asgard, and they use this big ass bridge with the big black dude on there, right? That's kind of like what they kind of getting into, you got this big ass wall and all this city made with all these precious stones and pearls and things like that. All right. It says, let me jump down to verse, I'm going to go to 21, but as you can see, from verse 18, let me read verse 18. And the building of the walls was like of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. So like I said, a visualization of that would be like what in that movie, one of the damn Thor movies with, when they go to the place Asgard and they got to walk across that bridge, pure gold, but it was like on the glass, kind of transparent. You could see through it, but you know what I'm saying? It also got metals inside of it. All right. And the foundations of the wall of the city was garnished with all manner of precious stones. All right. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third Charkandoni, Salaki, I can't pronounce that. The fourth, an emerald. There's a lot of other ones in here I can't pronounce, but nevertheless, there's a lot of different stones. You can look these up there. Hey, like if you was to get an idea of all that, just type in the damn birthstones. You know what I'm saying? How you get it in abundance. I think it's like 12 different stones. You know what I'm saying? Just to see. Or you could just type in these stones, But going back down to verse 21, and the 12 gates was 12 pearls. Every several gate was one pearl, and the streets of the city was pure gold, as if it was transparent glass. Again, going back to that Asgard visualization. All right, so in here, let me read verse 22 just to read it. And I saw no temple therein, for Yahweh Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. All right, so now the reason I had to read that is because, you know what I'm saying, like I said, this breakdown is metaphoric, you know what I'm saying, talking about the children of Israel being raised back up, starting with the 144,000 on down, the house of David first and foremost, but not only that, we're going to actually get a physical city. We're going to actually jump to that now. Let me see. Yeah, that's all I wanted to grab there. So we're going to jump over to the book of Isaiah 60. All right, so we just read there about this city where the streets is paved to gold and things like that, Like I said, primarily that's metaphoric, talking about the children of Israel. Like the Most High said, I've tried you like gold is tried, like silver is tried. You're going to be lively stones, precious stones, things like that. That's talking about the prophets coming back. All right. But like I said, me speaking as a man, it would not surprise me that if, once we get Jerusalem built back up, you know what I'm saying, that's what it's going to look like, because what we're reading here, because we know, according to the scriptures, that the heathen are going to build us up a kingdom, just like how we came over here, the slaves built the White House and so on and so forth. We built their heaven. All right. They're going to build it up for us, according to the scriptures. All right. This is the book of Isaiah 60. All right. I'm going to go to verse 4, but like I was saying, this is, mainly aimed at the Venezuelan brothers primarily, but to the whole house of Israel. Hey, man, yeah, it's going to get bad. It's bad now, and it's going to get worse. But at the end of the tunnel, man, the Most High got a beautiful setup for you, man. And as you can see the signs that's going on around you, man, these nations is hoarding this gold for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You fighting over resources for a reason. You getting all your stuff stolen from you for a reason. The so-called white man is gathering up for his future. All right? He investing in his future. You know what I'm saying? To put it that way, because shit, we're going to read it. Isaiah 60:4 says, lift up thy eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. All right. And so, as you see that with the so-called Latino tribes down there in Central America coming up through Mexico. All right. Those are our brethren. All right. Bringing more of our brethren back up to where? America, Babylon the Great, for that main salvation. All right. Or destruction, whatever the Most High have set for him. It says, then thou shalt see and flow together, thy heart shall fear and be enlarged. All right. So, how you be shocked over something, like, let's say you hit the lottery, right? For $100 billion. Like, let's just say when you hit the lottery, you shocked for the abundance of all the things just came true in your life. Man, I didn't just hit the lotto tax free, $100 billion, all mine. How you would feel if you did that every day for the rest of your life. You just be like stoked, right? You're going to be like that at this point in time, but you're going to like, let me see where it says, lift up thy eyes round about and see, look at these prophecies coming to pass, although the Most High tell you what you're about to get, you still not going to quite get it. But look around you and start seeing these things starting to happen. You're starting to see what it says verse 5, because the abundance, let me start from the top. Then thou shalt see and flow together. Thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea being these other nations, these people. All right. You go to a football game and you do what? You say, I see a sea of people, right? Because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of Gentiles shall come unto thee. So everybody that's not a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, all right, that's not an Israelite, gonna be coming to you with the abundance of their resources, everything they got. They're not gonna just be coming with the $20 in their pocket. They're gonna be going to their banks to get all of their stuff. They're gonna be digging up everything that they got. They might even they might dig up their dead grandmama 13 generations back to get that old gold ring up off her finger just to give to you. All right. Verse 6. The multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dormities of Midian and Ephah. They from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praise of Yahweh. So to our Venezuelan brothers, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that your gold is petty and you don't have a right to it and nothing like that. But in a sense like this, it's like, yo, man, you crying over $550 million worth of some petty ass gold when they going to be lined up around with truck after truck after truck, or however they going to have it. The scripture here say camels, right? But, that's just transportation. They going to be bringing it to you day after day after day after day, just like how Solomon had it. He just had the ships of gold coming every day. That's how it was. This is what it's going to be like. The gate's going to be open continually for these other nations to be bringing these resources, let alone gold. So when I go back and say, in Revelation, they talk about a metaphoric city. All right. It wouldn't, me speaking as a man, it wouldn't surprise me or shock me not one bit that actually have things built like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably would be surprised if we didn't. You know what I'm saying? If we just had regular concrete, I might be surprised at that. I'd be way more surprised at that than not seeing like cities and streets paved with gold. You know what I'm saying? Or some other element. You know what I mean? We might even have some Edomites in the projects with streets paved with gold, just to show them how balling we are. Like, yeah, y'all had us in the hood, but look, bro, y'all hood even more balling. That's just how shitty y'all shit was. And this is just some bullshit, because Solomon had all his dishes was gold. And if a fly landed on one of his dishes, he would throw it away. You see what I'm saying? So that ain't really nothing. And that was just really still in our folly and our wickedness. Solomon was, in a righteous mind state at that point in time, but still yet that ain't the glory of the kingdom. All right. Let me jump down. Verse 9. Surely the isle shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first to bring thy sons from afar, and thy silver and thy... Let me stop there. The ships of Tarshish first to bring thy sons from afar. So, we scattered into all four corners of the earth. You know what I'm saying? We all being brought back, you know what I'm saying, to be delivered. The Lord going to deliver us. But what you seeing now, we being gathered up and we being brought into locations to make it, not to say make it easier for the Lord to come scoop us all up. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't nothing for the Lord to have a chariot, make it one chariot manifest for every person that's going to be delivered right where they at. That's nothing for the Lord, That's just child play. But he can make it however he going to make it. He could just have one ship right over Babylon the Great and have all his children have a mass exodus out of wherever they at into the land of Babylon here in America. And he just, get us all here, But what? You starting to see this right now with the so-called wall they're trying to build and these so-called illegal immigrants that's coming up here. These ain't like Chinese folk coming to America. These ain't Arabs coming to America. These are all children of Israel. That's the one thing they all got in common. They all the Israelites. All right. Says verse 10, and thy sons, verse 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first to bring thy sons from afar, their silver and their gold with them. All right. So unto the name of Yahweh thy power and the Holy One of Israel, because he have glorified thee. All right. So first of all, they're going to be in fear after they see Esau getting dropped like a bad habit, right? Esau going to get dropped like a bad habit, just like them Egyptians did in the sight of man. They going to be scared. They going to be like, look, bro, we coming with all our shit and our heads down. You can have everything. Here go. We got some of y'all, the Israelites scattered in our country. We bringing them back. First class flights. You know what I'm saying? With all the luxuries. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, we're going to give y'all all our resources. The best of our resources. Y'all got it, everything hands down. All right. Verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their king shall... Let me go back. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. That's why I say we actually are going to have a kingdom, like how they got a kingdom now, that they going to build up, all right? We're going to actually have us a kingdom of heaven, all right? Like actual buildings, like how we built up D.C. We built up every landmass here in America for them, all right? And all over the rest of the world, too. But nevertheless, like how we built up they kingdom, they gonna build up our kingdom, all right? And then we getting all these resources, like the scripture is saying right here. They gonna be bringing their gold and their silver. So we can't really. You could eat the gold and the silver, but who gonna want to eat gold and silver, especially in our heavenly bodies? All right, what you think we're gonna be doing with that? We're gonna basically be doing whatever we want to do with it. If we want to make like if we want to sprinkle the bottom of the damn ocean with gold just so to bling off, we could do that just to be wasting gold. But the fact of the matter is, we're gonna have these heathen as our slaves to go get the resources for us, like how we doing for them, and how they got us begging for our own shit back, and only chump change, $550 million worth of gold ain't shit. That's a little bit of money. All right. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. All right, their kings, their nobles, their elites, they gonna be ministering up unto us. You know what I'm saying? They got the top advisors. That's predominantly us, Jake. You know what I'm saying? Like how Daniel was, how Joseph was, how Moses was. Well, Moses' situation was a little different. He was kind of brought up in that position. But Daniel and Mordecai and Joseph, these was all so-called wise men to the king. You know what I'm saying? Or the Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? So they was like advisors. But what? They gonna be our advisors at this point in time. They're gonna be our slaves. They're gonna be doing all our, whatever works we need them to do. You know what I'm saying? If we need babysitters or Aunt Jemimas and stuff like that, they're gonna be our Aunt Jemimas. All right. It says, verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have mercy on thee. Therefore thy gate shall be open continually. All right. Just like how Walmart's gates, Walmart is open 24 hours a day. For what? That we can keep bringing them money and resources in our time. We go in there 24 hours a day, spending out with Walmart. Same with Amazon. 24 hours a day, Amazon is making buku money or bringing in resources. Or, how the cycle go. You go out and you go work. You actually do the manual labor they want. They give you this little bit of money. Then you go back and buy the same shit back up off of Amazon or Walmart from them. So you slaving and doing all the work for them. All right. But, our gate's going to be just like that Walmart door or Amazon door. Therefore, thy gate shall be open continually, that they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought. For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall be utterly destroyed. So, Let me read verse 14. The sons of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and shall call thee the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. All right. Let me just keep reading. Verse 15. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency and joy of many generations, that thou shalt suck the milk of the Gentiles and suck the breast of kings, that thou shalt know that I am Yahweh thy Savior and the Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. All right, talking about sucking the breast of these kings. That's like a baby sucking their mama breast, right? The baby needing nutrition and resources to build up a strong body. Same with us. If we sucking the breast of kings, that not physically, but we getting their resources, right? Imagine you trying to go get a loan from your mom and them. You can only get whatever they got left over to give you whatever resources they got, right? But if you're going to go get a loan from the Rothschilds, now you sucking his breast. He got loan money. You good. So all the shit they done stocked up, you're going to be able to, you taking all their stuff, all right? Now the Most High saying, look, I'm about to recompense you on all the stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, let me come back to this. Yeah, I'm going to come back to this. Verse 17. He about to recompense you. All right. This is Job 20 and 18. Yep. Job 20 and 18. That which he labored for. This talking about Esau. All right. The so-called white man. What he been doing. Rape, robbing, and murdering on the whole planet Earth. You got to pay unto him double what he has done did. But not only that, all the things he done stole, he got to pay all that back. Not just that, he got to pay it back to the Israelites. So it says, Job 20 and 18, that which he labored for shall he not, Salakia, that which he labored for shall he restore and shall not swallow it down. According to the substance, his substance shall the restitution be, he shall not rejoice therein. So imagine you going up into a bank and you taking the bank for everything that they got. So many millions of billions of dollars all the way down to you can't even read the number no more. They're like, no problem. We ain't tripping. You got to pay every dime back. You see what I'm saying? Every single dime got to be paid back and you still got to go to prison. So verse 19, because he hath oppressed and forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away a house which he builded not. All right. Yeah. None of this stuff that he built. He got to pay it all back. The whole planet Earth. And also putting us in captivity. He got to go back in captivity and build up our nation. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save that which he desired. So all these things he didn't labor for, hey man, he going to vomit it all back up. Therefore shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall be upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast fury upon his wrath upon him and rain upon him while he is eaten. And he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. As you see, these nukes is being turned up right now. But Esau also almost got the whole damn earth devoured and all the resources. He almost got everything completely devoured. All everybody under his monetary system, trade system, oppression system, his military system, all these different systems, he's pretty much got it 90%. All right. So what? He about to cash out. But what the Most High say, when he about to fill his belly, he going to have to pay back what, all he labored for. He got to pay it all back. That's what the restitution going to be. All right. And so this how the Most High finna recompense the Israelites with what Esau's about to throw back up, because Esau done swallowed it all down, but he got to throw it back up. And so we over here crying for $550 million worth of gold, some petty shit. And the Most High going to tell you what he going to give it to you back. All right. Isaiah 60 and 17, for brass will I bring gold. All right. So, you over here asking about, like, let's just say you asking for some brass, you finna get gold for that. All right. For iron will I bring silver, for wood, brass, for stones, iron. I will also make thy officers peace and thy exactors righteous. All right. So, and yeah, we read the rest of this on down. But nevertheless, the Most High is about to recompense us to wind up getting back all these things that Esau didn't swallow down. All right. We're about to get back that all the things that Esau wound up taking from us and everything back. How do I say, twofold? All right. We're about to reign and rule in righteousness. All right. We're about to come into the kingdom of heaven. All right. So, I know the times is hard right now for all the Israelites, but it's going to get a lot worse going into Jacob's trouble. But at the end of the tunnel, we got a glorious kingdom, and it's a spiritual thing that they got, in the newspaper, Venezuela, so-called crying over a little bit of petty gold, which it is theirs and they got a right for it. But yet $550 million worth of gold versus 24 hours, your gates open continually for people bringing you resources, they kings, they sons and they daughters. If you want, you can be like, yo, I need the Rothschilds to go plow up, whatever. Go go out to outer space and go find me some gold from off some asteroids. That's what you're going to have the ability to do. They're going to build you up a kingdom, you know. You can have your streets paved with gold, you know. This is why these other nations, just looking at it with spirituality, this is why these nations is hoarding all these precious stones and stuff like that, all right? They getting all that they can get. They think they're going to rule, but what? That's going to be their bargaining chip, not to get slaughtered off the face of the earth after they see what's going to happen to these Edomites. And everything the Edomites going they didn't swallow down these American Edomites, these other nations going to take, but that's going to be their bargaining tool for us not to go up across their neck. So they're going to wind up just be giving it over willingly. All right, let me see, where was it at? Where it says the nation that will not serve thee shall be cut off forever. Right here, Isaiah 60:12. For the nations and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. All right, so, hey, man, they're going to be coming and bringing resources so they don't get cut off like the rest of the Edomites did, all right? So, Lord willing, with that, this here article and this lesson was edifying unto the elect, you know, give you a little bit of hope and motivation to look forward to, let you know, come back to the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. He got a beautiful plan laid out for you, all right? Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for Yakim, pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Stay strong. Shalom.